What's up, Trad Nation?
This is Breaking Trad.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Will They or Won't They? First, we'll start with Will They pour drink down the front of their shirt? And it looks like I will. My name's Alan.
And I'm Matt with Breaking Trad.
Yeah. Let me start again. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Trad. My name's Alan.
And I'm Matt, I think.
I'm Amanda. I got the gummy worms.
I got the gummy worm.
I'm Brittany, and I stole her gummy worms.
So we're
Flavors, though.
so we're good. Yeah, everybody good tonight. Yeah, everybody gung ho and ready to go, as I say.
Yep. Is that what you say?
That's what I say.
Okay.
You've never heard me say it? Come
I
on,
don't
I've
know.
said it. Y'all
I don't
all
know.
heard
You
me
say all
it.
the dad stuff. I just try to tone it out most of the time.
Like one of my favorite is a earn like you earn. You ever heard that?
Yeah, from you.
Yeah, only you.
What?
Mhm.
What
yeah,
about
like gourd head squash neck.
Oh my god.
gourd head
That's
squash
one
neck?
saying that I could live the rest of my life without ever hearing again.
Gourd head squash neck.
And does a bear.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Does a bear doo-doo in the woods?
Dude.
Somebody told me one time, somebody caught me off guard real good with one time. It says, I said, hey man, do you have whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, does a bear fish in a river? And I'm like, what? I didn't get it. So
Insert cricket sound.
yeah, so clearly, I'm just saying, clearly mine's better than does a bear fish in the river.
But they do.
But they do.
They actually do both.
They actually do.
Oh my god.
I think we all do.
Maybe.
Does a bear love toilet paper?
Charmin.
Charmin.
So it seems to me that you live your life like a candle in the wind.
What? What kind of gummy worms are these?
No, nobody.
But, I mean, if you strike a match.
Are you wanting us to finish the lyric? Is that
Oh,
what's
so you got
happening? I got it.
yeah, she got it. So it seems to me like you live your life like a candle in the wind. No.
I know
The
it's a song.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that randomly too. I'll just speak lyrics to people.
Mhm.
You know.
I do that too, but if you say something, especially in a certain tone, and then I'm just going to sing the rest of what
See,
might
but
have
like
been.
me, it's the opposite because the lyrics speak to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah, it was.
Something like that.
Deeper than that bear doo-doo.
Right?
Oh my lord.
What?
Nothing.
Don't judge me.
I will judge so hard.
All right, guys. So you know what we're here for.
Yeah,
What?
I do.
Okay. We're here for archery and
Mhm.
all things archery.
Right?
Uh-oh. Was that never
Sounded
mind.
like a gobbler.
Yep. Brrp. Like, I don't know if that's what a gobbler sounds like. All right, so our guest tonight.
A gobbler with a cell phone.
Walkie-talkie cell phone.
So tonight's guest has only been 5 years in the world of traditional archery. The gentleman has more buckles than necessary to hold his pants up. He's an FAA National League champion. He came in second in the 53rd USA Archery Indoor Nationals, and is currently a U.S. team member heading to Italy to represent with a longbow. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Joshua Miller. Josh, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, cool, man. Good. Are you excited?
Yeah. Definitely getting in the fields now. I did not have any nerves until about 2 hours ago. You know, kind of rushing around getting the final packing done. But yeah, it's starting to get real now.
Oh
Eh.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be.
I'd be-
Tomorrow's D-Day.
That'd be super.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whew.
Real quick, yesterday we spoke about you got an 18-hour flight. Is that right?
So well, kind of, not really. I'm going to be driving 3 hours to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis, I got a 2-hour flight to Philly, like an hour layover, and then like an 8 or 9 hour flight to Rome,
Just
and then from Rome, I got an hour drive to Turney. So yeah, it's like
Okay.
18 hours of straight
overall
travel.
total travel time. Yeah, that's what. Wow, that's insane, man. Well, good luck. So Matt's got our first question, and he'll kick us off, man.
Sure.
So tell us how you got here, not the phone call, not the number you dialed, but what was it that got you into shooting traditional archery?
Man, to be honest with you, I kind of fell into it. Starting off, traditional archery goes hand in hand with hunting. So let me first off say that, whenever I was a kid, I had a very bad experience with hunting. We're from like sticks. So the way that we train, our kids is like, take them out in a truck, give them a gun, and like wish them the best of luck, right?
Right.
That's the way it was for me growing up. I don't do that. But so my uncle took me out hunting whenever I was a kid, gave me a rifle, showed me kind of how to load it, safety, all that good stuff. We got out to the woods. He kind of kicks you out of the truck and says, okay, take a few steps that way, sit off the road, shoot a deer if it comes up. Like the worst instructions you can give a kid, right? So yeah, and this is before the sun comes up, and I hunted like 10,000 acres of land. It's just all trees, right? So the first thing I do as a kid, I fall asleep, wake up with the sun's up, and I thought, oh my gosh, I missed the truck. I missed him coming back. And I'm really young. I mean, if I'm 10 years old, I'm surprised. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was too young to be in that position.
Yeah.
So anyways, I wake up and I thought I knew where the road was, got turned around, ended up like falling in a creek, freezing cold. This is during rifle season.
Good Lord.
And by the grace of God, I actually walked over a ridge to where he had set my brother. So my brother sees me, runs up, grabs me. We go back to the road, and he's just like kind of keeping me, warm and stuff like that. And so after that, we get back to camp, and I played Scrabble and Yahtzee with my grandma for the remaining week or two.
Yeah, but that story could have been so much worse. Like you got shot by your brother whenever the ridge.
Oh, it was
Lost and froze. Like, oh gosh.
right. It's horrendous, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't ever want to do that again. Well, fast forward to after high school, a buddy of mine's like, hey, man, you really need to give hunting a try again. I said, okay. So went out, did the rifle thing, got in a blind, shot a deer. Awesome experience. Okay, now I'm hooked. I did rifle for a season or two, and then I wanted more. I wanted to tag more deer. Like I just became obsessed with hunting. So what's the next step? Yeah, you get a bow, compound, and I shot quite a few deer. Well, I ended up having a mutual friend with somebody, and his profile picture was him with this longbow, like an old 50s, 60s style longbow, and he's got this freaking tank of a deer. And I'm like, yo, that's what I want. That looks cool, epic. So right as soon as I seen that, I'm like, I want that feeling. And, started questioning him on what to do. And he kind of got me on the right path. And next thing you know, I'm flinging some carbon arrows out of a Samick Sage. And that was kind of the start. So it was and it fell kind of hand in hand with hunting. So
you just took off from there then, yeah?
Oh, yeah, man. It was off to the races. If I thought I was consumed by hunting, it's nothing compared to how consumed and in-depth I can get with my traditional archery side.
Sweet. I like that answer. Hand in hand with hunting.
Yeah.
When this show drops, I think it'll drop September the 15th. I think that's what we spoke about yesterday. But today is the day before you head out, right?
Correct.
All right. So we spoke a little bit, and you had mentioned how cutthroat it is, in that top tournament over there in Italy, and a few individuals got kicked or disqualified for like small things.
Oh yeah, man. There are so many rules, and you have to know these rules. They don't tell you. They don't really tell you these rules. You just got to get online and start reading. And the book is just, it's ungodly huge, So yeah. So luckily for us, we've got some people that are repeats. Dwayne Martin, Fawn Gerard, Ken Reese. We got and Calvin Smock's going with us as well. So we've got a really good seasoned group of leaders to kind of show us the ropes and explain to us. But yeah, for instance, there was somebody that was trying to get a judge's attention, and he was, talking a different language from the judge, and went up and tapped him on the shoulder. Well, one of the rules is you can't touch a judge. That was witnessed and reported, protested. That guy got kicked out. That was it. That dude was done.
For touching a judge.
Just goes to show you
For
can't
tapping
do
a
anything you want
judge
outside
on the
those
shoulder.
double doors.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Josh. It was an inside joke.
You set him up for an inside joke.
And
Sorry.
I was like, I'm missing something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I was retaliating slightly. But it was okay. It's all right. No.
We were just making sure you watched this episode.
For sure.
But no. So another thing you would mention is like the competitors themselves are cutthroat. Like they'll let you get up and shoot the wrong target.
Yes, that actually happened to the great Fawn Gerard. You know, it's very easy to get off a track. You know, it could happen to anybody. But let me tell you, if you're going up and you're the first shooter and you're looking at a wrong target, that person, they're mindful and they'll wait until after you shoot. So it happened to her. She accidentally, there was like 3 or 4 targets. There's 4 targets and she ended up shooting the wrong target. So they waited until she shot both of her arrows, and the woman looked over at her and said, "Yeah, you just shot the wrong target. We need to go get a judge." So they waited until she shot both arrows, and then she got 2 zeros for that.
Oh man!
But
she's still able to pull through, right?
Dude, she came back and stroked every single shot after that, and then I think she ended up winning silver that year. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, she that lit a fuse under her.
I am sure.
So, you know, I may have not heard this from you, and it just hit me while we were talking about it just now. But I heard that they'll play mind games with you and things like that, like mess with your head and try to throw you on till, you know, while you're out there competing.
Yeah, I mean they will, and you know, it's no different from hearing stories elsewhere, you know, and there may be 2 or 3 sides to every story, but you know, and this wasn't from somebody in the U.S., but somebody was like, "Oh yeah, those are nice arrows. Can I see them?" And you know, the guy handed over his arrow, and they're looking at it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a nice arrow." Well, as they're looking at that arrow, they're twisting their knock.
Oh,
that's not even a mind games. That's just playing dirty.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and let me, you know, that's just a story. You don't know if it's actually true. You don't know anything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it may be specific to categories. Maybe not. I don't know. But I've heard nothing but great things about the Longbow Crew, so I am super stoked.
Well, good.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
I'm excited
sure.
for you. I think we're all excited on everybody's behalf. We got to figure out how to watch this.
I know.
Like how like if you get over there.
I watched it when they were in Canada.
Did you watch a YouTube recap or something, or did you watch it live?
I don't remember because Sherry was there. I don't remember how I watched it.
See, that's the thing. If you get over there, Josh, and you figure out like, hey, it's going to be on this whatever, like shoot me a text, shoot us a text,
or make a post, a Facebook post or something.
Right.
Yeah,
so
let us know how we're going to be able to watch you guys.
Yeah, we're stoked for you, man.
Absolutely. If something comes across my my radar on how to get it available to us here in the States, I'll definitely make a post and
don't give me a channel.
And all that.
You can give me a channel. I can pull it up actually from anywhere.
Yeah,
I
might
feel
not be able to understand it, but
don't let us put any more pressure on you than you already have.
I feel like Dwayne and Calvin will definitely make sure that whatever needs to be posted also.
And we'll share the crap out of it on our end. So
sure.
Yeah, concentrate on that way
like
before shooting in Italy.
Right. Well, I can tell you more than likely the qualifications, the 2 days of shooting, I don't think that there will probably be any cameras per se of live shooting, because we are going to be shooting in some like ancient ruins, and I don't know as far as like who has access, who doesn't, all this good stuff.
Flash or not, you know, things like that.
Sure. I just don't. Though. I don't know because this is all new to me. I'm fresh meat, right? So there's so many new fresh people coming in, and that's why we've got some some people that have been there before,
right?
Like Calvin Smock. You know, he came in I think 5th place in the trials, but the dude, oh my gosh, he's a legend with longbows, right? He's been in this stage many times. He's won gold for our country. I think he's won silver for our country. So he knows this. He's going in support of us and stuff like that. So we definitely need that.
Yeah.
Definitely need that.
Awesome.
And it's smart on the behalf of the USA team to have, so many
vets.
Vets. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. And we have, there's so many, but we have such a strong and motivated team. Like everybody on that roster, has proven themselves and, earned that position and earned that title. So,
That's
there were no gimmies. This is a very, very strong team.
USA.
There you go.
So,
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the cost. I know that you and a lot of the other team members, once you make the team, started to your GoFundMes and other ways of making your money. You specifically had a buddy that put together an event to help you raise the funds to get to Italy, which is incredible, by the way. But how much is the actual cost, if you don't mind us asking?
You kind of cut out there. How much is the actual, the whole entire trip?
Yeah,
from your perspective.
Yeah, from your perspective, what are you looking to output, if you don't mind sharing?
It's pretty hefty. It all depends on what you actually have. So for me, I had to go get a new suitcase to fit my takedown bow in. I didn't have a suitcase. That was a couple hundred. Right. Getting those extra bows there, check baggage, stuff that most people don't think about. Now I've got two oversized baggages, overweight. That's $150 just for one baggage to get it there.
Yeah.
So that's $300 per bag. That's $600.
Right.
So the flight was like $1,700. The hotels, it's up there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was well over $1,000.
Well, you said you had to stay for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
So
we're staying
in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's I think 11 or 12 days. I think right at 12 days, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I mean, it's not cheap, and the thing is more of that is coming to light. We're one of the few countries that have to fund our way. And in all honesty, I think that makes us stronger because we're hungry for that. This isn't just given. We know what's on the line. We've put that work and effort, time and money into making this. This isn't a give me. So,
right.
But a lot of that is coming to light, and people have been stepping up left and right. Lancaster Archery Supplies, they donated a very significant amount to help cut down the cost on registration for each individual archer.
Oh yeah.
And then, and Safari Tough came in clutch. They sent every Team USA member a customized bow case just as appreciation. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And there's so many more people that have donated and stuff like that behind the scenes that are just proud to do that. They don't want any claim to fame or anything. They're just really excited to see Team USA get over there and represent.
Very. So for me, I feel patriot. I call myself a patriot, right? So I love my country, and if there's going to be people who, strap the red, white, and blue on their back and do anything in regards for that, that right there, that gets me fired up. I'm freaking stoked, man. I'm ready to go.
Especially if it has to do with archery, also.
Yeah, absolutely. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I hope one day that we cater to every aspect when it comes to, as far as the country goes, we cater to every aspect regardless of what the sport is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you're strapping red, white, and blue on and you're walking out there and you're going to be a liaison for our country, I guess that's the right word. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Representative.
Yeah, representative. If you're going to represent our country, hopefully one day we can get the backs of every individual who's willing to do something like that. You know what I mean? And put the work in.
Sure, absolutely.
So I have a question. I'm just curious because you were talking about luggage and flying with your bow. So are you having to take your bow as the carry-on item? I've never flown with a bow, so I've always wondered how this exactly takes place.
And plus, we got a plane trip coming in January. So.
Yeah.
Sure. So that is a very good question. I can get back to you guys on that. I'm not sure. I know that a lot of people are putting them in takedowns and PVC tubes or something like that and putting them in their bow case because you do have still your arrows and all that. But as far as taking it as a carry-on, I think she's going to kill me if I get her name wrong. Stephanie Core, she's with the trad traditional competitive women.
Yeah.
And I think she was first place actually, but she was wanting to see, I think she just asked in the group if we were able to bring a takedown on the bow in carry-on. I think you can as long as there are no arrows, but I am not sure. Each flight is very specific on the rules.
Yeah.
So like American Airlines, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. See, I've been so curious about this whole time. I'm like, so how are they traveling? Even like our
Sure.
friends who are going to like nationals and different places, and I'm like, how are they
Right.
like? How are you doing this? Because
Right, and a lot of,
I'm
like,
so scared to. I'd be so scared to put it under the
You
plane.
bet. And here's the thing with that also is like some airlines and stuff, they only allow one bow per person. So, unless you have two baggages and I don't know, you just have to figure it out, like check one bag under, a spouse or something. And if somebody else is going with you and,
Put one in there.
yeah, cause it's all specific. So I think what we were told is, say it's sporting equipment,
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If they ask you what's in there, just sporting equipment. Yeah, that's a fly rod case. Yeah, there's totally not a bow in there.
Right.
Sporting equipment.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, if you get that information, I'm curious. I want to know how this. I really hope that everybody makes it there, like with all their
With
equipment.
all their stuff.
I've heard of them taking like crazy things, like bowstrings out of like
man.
leaving the bow, leaving arrows, but taking your bowstring when.
I'm gonna put my
Well,
check
yeah.
in my
Yeah, and it's very
carry-on.
possible. Yeah, TSA, they're not very pleasant with your stuff. If they rip something out and you just got your bowstring kind of just hanging in there, chances are it may end up on the ground.
Yep.
And here's
I
the
can see
thing, not
that.
only that, there's, sometimes the luggage doesn't show up on time.
Yeah. There's
But,
that.
That was
if you got to check baggage, yeah,
That's
it
what
may
I'd be
show
worried
up.
about.
Yeah, it might show up 2-3 days later. That's why it's very smart to bring two bows and two sets of arrows in two separate baggages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely just in case. But
Right.
I guess while we
Right.
are on the topic of bows, we'll talk a little bit about that.
You mean we're not on a podcast about traditional archery?
What?
We've been talking
Sure.
about bows.
Lame.
You know what I'm saying. It's my segue. Thanks for
Yeah.
messing it up, Alan.
Lame.
Thanks. Okay, but let's talk about ASL longbows, also known as hill style bows.
Yes,
So-
ma'am.
They are shorter than your typical longbow. And just doing a little research and looking around, I noticed that there's a bit of frustration from people who try to shoot that style bow, but it seems to be your go-to. What do you think is the secret to shooting that style of bow?
Oh man, let me tell you something. There is no secret. You gotta learn. Yeah, you gotta learn to channel your frustration and keep the f bombs to a minimum. Because if you let it win, it will win. And this is what kind of sets me apart from the rest of the crowd. And a lot of people are actually intrigued by this. Is I don't shoot it any different than what I would with, say like a hybrid or a reflex deflex or
Mhm.
or even a recurve. Well, that's not fair to say a recurve because it all depends on the grip.
Well, hang on one
But-
second. I have a real quick question.
Sure.
How many times have you heard this called a flat bow? Because that was something that came up in research too. Is like the ASL
so-
hill style bow, also known as a flat bow. I've never heard of flat bow.
Sure. I mean, it depends on like the terms of how it's being portrayed in like a sentence almost. So generally when somebody says flat bow, they think of self bows.
Okay.
Self bows are generally, cut from a single stave or a single ring of wood or something like that. Like
Right.
it's just pretty flat in the style of it.
Okay.
Now, the reason why they say they're flat bows is because whenever they are unstrung, they do look like a piece of wood. It's a straight stick, correct?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
So it just has a flat appearance about it on the back side of the bow.
Right.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
I got you. All right. So what was you saying about like you don't shoot an ASL any different than
Sure. So what there's all different ways to shoot a bow, and it's almost like bad juju to say you don't shoot it this way or this way, and it's got to be this way. The beauty of this sport is you can make anything work for you, correct? You always hear people say, well, that's not the way I do it or something like this, right?
Right.
So for me, like as long as I'm putting in that pocket, like the center of tiller where it needs to be on the meaty part of my palm, no different than if you're shooting a recurve or a longbow with a disc or a locator grip or something like that. You find where the pressure of your heel needs to be in that bow, and then you adjust from there. So with a hill bow, there's really no difference. You find where that center of tiller is, and you just push right through it.
Mhm.
So, and then the way that I cant and draw and anchor, release, follow through, the whole 9 yards, there is absolutely no difference. I start from a high 2 o'clock cant. So what I mean by that is like the tip of my bow is at 2 o'clock, and I'm swinging it down in like a pendulum, almost to the what is that? Like the 7, 8 o'clock, position, somewhere around there. And then I'm coming to anchor, but everything is exactly the same between my reflex, deflex, and my hill bow. And not all hill bows are the same.
Okay.
There are some that have like a higher center of tiller, a lower center of tiller. You just have to experiment with each and every individual hill bow.
Gotcha.
Now, I've just been lucky enough that the bows that I do shoot through, like St. Patrick Lake longbows,
Mm-hmm.
they all work out great for me. So, and actually, my takedown bow that's going to be my backup for World Archery is actually a hill style bow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
we don't want you to have to go into bow too, but if you had to, it'd still be cool. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. No, and the beauty of it is like my gap, everything is exactly the same. Like from 30 yards all the way to 10 yards, everything is exactly the same.
That's pretty
Sweet.
good.
Well, that makes it easy, anyways. See, that's what I try to go for, right? So I noticed that. Well, so you're not transitioning between a recurve or a longbow, but you are having like, is your primary bow a takedown as well?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is the primary bow you're taking with you, is it a takedown as well?
No, it's actually a single piece bow. And that is it's a Minnesota stick, also from St. Patrick Lake longbows.
Okay.
And it's a reflex deflex. Whenever it's strung, it really looks like a D shape. It's just slightly off from a D. So whenever it's unstrung, it has very, very little reflex deflex to it. It's
I
like
got you.
very minimal.
Okay, so that kind of goes to the question. So I paused to ask because my question is you said everything was the same, right? There's no there's no learning curve or anything. Like you don't have to you got to sling a
No,
couple out of the
sure.
takedown to get it back right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there is a learning curve. There really is.
Okay.
Because if you look at, here's the thing. It's whatever works for you. So a lot of people, they'll watch this video from like the 50s on how to, really just death grip it, or they'll death grip in the wrong place, and that's perfectly fine if it works for somebody. It didn't work for me.
Right.
I had to change everything up because it wasn't the way that I had, started out learning.
Right.
So as I'm sitting there trying to do what these videos are showing me and stuff like that, man, it's like it's rattling your teeth. It it just feels like a bolt of lightning going through your arm,
Right.
and it's not pleasant, and you get frustrated. So what do you do with something you don't like? You can it, right? You trash it.
Right.
So you really have to have that inspiration and that want
to shoot that particular style bow, right?
Absolutely.
I got you. Well, I think we're coming into our final question.
Are we?
Yep.
Looks like it.
But yeah, all I saw was the dot with a smiley face beside it. Anyway,
What? I must have missed something.
and the last question.
Sure.
What advice could you give somebody that's just getting into shooting traditional archery?
Oh, I've been asked this question a few times, and
By who?
you want all these shout outs, man?
No. We only ask these questions. Go
So-
ahead, I'm sorry.
The main thing I will say is don't get too locked up in what other people think. I mean, this is straight truth. Be honest with yourself. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You got to be willing to learn in the sport. Here's the beauty of this: is like, yeah, even though I'm doing Team USA, I've won a lot, dude. I'm still learning every single day. I've got to be able to open my mind to be able to grow and learn something from maybe even somebody that's a new archer. So always be honest with yourself. Never give up. That's number one. The moment that we give up on things is the moment that the passion, the desire, the love for what you do is no longer valid. Correct? So be open with yourself, and just approach everything with an open mind and be honest with yourself.
I like it.
All right.
That's literally. I know it's not like the best thing I can do is tell you to keep a loose grip or something. This is just what I said.
Well, because we always say, I think that's a great answer. I honestly do. I mean, since we've started, we've been together a year and a half, something like that. We're into season 2. We started season 1 late, but since day 1, we've said this is a personal journey. Like, it is your journey, so you figure it out. Like, people are going to tell you stuff, yeah, and you may try this and you may try that, but if it's not working, don't stick with it. Like you said, be honest with yourself. And
change
change it up, figure it out. Yeah,
See what works for you.
right.
Yeah, frustration, man. It's like Thanos. It is inevitable. It's going to happen. But what you do with that frustration and how you grow from that frustration is what defines you as an archer.
Yes.
Right. Amen. Woo.
Like
Is he preaching it here? Is it church?
Come on with it, baby.
Josh, man, we are at about 30 minutes, which we typically try to keep our guests, and it looks like we're running time, so we may wrap up. But we just want to say, well, first of all, we want to say thank you for coming on the show, and we wish you and everyone headed to Italy tomorrow the best of luck.
And safe travels. We
thank
hope
you.
you and the bows and everybody makes it there safely.
Yep,
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks.
all arrows intact.
that's right.
We can't wait to hear about
Yeah.
it all.
Yes.
We're looking forward to
bet.
hearing from everybody.
So-
And don't forget the whole list of things we asked you to do while you were there.
Yes.
Hey, man,
you
I'll
got-
do my best to make it up to you guys.
Alan wants you to
bet.
text him daily or hourly updates.
Give me updates.
Well, you know what's funny is like 0 electronics are allowed on the course.
Well,
We're
that's
talking
crap.
Cell phone, watches, the whole 9 yards.
So what you're
None of
saying
that
is we
allowed.
need to send you with like a button-sized camera.
Yeah.
Is it because y'all are shooting in ruins?
Yeah, so we're actually shooting in some ancient ruins. It's actually an excavating site that is still not fully excavated, so they're still like digging up ancient like artifacts and stuff like that. So it's really really cool.
That is
so. That is so.
There's like
great.
old
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
want to go.
yeah.
All right, one
Yeah,
last
sure.
question. One last question.
Well, there's
Is-
like old stone archways and everything that they'll have targets
Oh.
like hanging in and stuff like that. It's really really cool.
That's
Oh my God.
that's
okay, so one
awesome.
last question. Is there a finders keepers rule over there in the excavation area?
Man, I think if you want some gel time,
That's the way to do it right there.
that's the way to do it. My
Hey.
pastor actually told me to rip up a brick from like one of them old rooms. I'm like, yeah, let me do that real quick.
Well, you'll get more than 9 years than dragging pot through a Russian border. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, where was we?
That's
We was laughing.
Yeah. So that does it for us, man. We really appreciate you coming on. It's really cool, man. I'm super stoked for you guys. Again, thank you, and we hope to. Be ready for a call late fall or late winter, because we're gonna try to get all you guys back on and talk about
Sure.
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to hear everybody's experience.
Yep. Well,
You bet. Would love to.
all right, man. Well, good luck, and we will see you. We'll talk to you shortly.
All right. Sounds
All
good,
right,
man.
All right.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that does it for another episode of Breaking Trad, round
Mhm.
3. Joshua, a heck of a guest, and I'm super excited for him. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
freaking
Yes.
awesome.
USA. Okay, I don't.
I'm
Well, how
actually-
come nobody ever wants to chant with me?
We've done it already.
Yeah,
we
we
have
did.
chanted.
Matt never chants.
Matt is not going to chant. Not now. Not ever.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not a
maybe
chancellor.
Maybe if he gets enough
Yeah.
beverage inside of him.
Not
Take-
Dr. Pepper?
takes a little soda.
Yeah.
So
Little soda to get the motor running.
all right. Well, so you notice on this episode we don't have any shoots coming up. We don't have any shoots available. I think we're done, right?
Close enough.
Yeah.
No, we're not necessarily done. I mean, it's hunting season, so
Well, hunting season's rolling around. Yeah, we
we
got
could tell you where all the cool deer are, but then everybody might be really mad at us.
we got 1 month, and it's go time.
It's go time.
That means I gotta get my stuff together.
Yep.
Well, as bad as I hate it, I know that it's dwindling down. All the shoot, like Russ Dixon's just passed, and we don't have a whole lot left. You know what that means? It's time for a hiatus. We go on our BT
Mhm.
hiatus for the season, and I mean, you may end up getting one or two, like maybe a Halloween special, maybe a Christmas special, Thanksgiving special.
And if you have any requests for either one of those, make sure
Yeah.
you let us know.
Right, exactly. Oh, just for the record, there will be no Mariah Carey in my house this year.
There's already been Mariah Carey in your house.
And
I
that,
don't understand that. What do you have against Mariah Carey?
yeah. Okay, so do you remember South Park? You ever watch South Park?
No, not really.
Have you ever watched South Park?
A little bit.
You watch South Park. So there are several episodes. One, that focus around what they consider the brown note.
What are you?
You guys ever heard of the brown note?
No.
No? Brittany, you still with us?
I can't be with you yet.
So the brown note is the note that is at a certain decibel that causes like loss of bowel function. Like you can't control your bowels. And for Mariah Carey, she does this thing where she's like, and she gets way up here.
Mhm.
I think she's found it because it literally makes me just sick to my stomach. Like I physically get sick to my stomach listening to this high like squeal. It's the squeal.
Whistle.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
No, it's legit. It is legitimate. I literally like every time I hear the song, what is it? I'll be home for Christmas, or like the kids, they torture me
No.
with it.
It's not
Yeah.
that.
It's
Forgot what it.
Anyways,
All I want for Christmas is you.
oh God, I hate.
All I want
No.
for Christmas.
Well, I guess it's like Tyler Childers for me. You're fine.
Is you.
But that where she gets there and she's like, ooh, ooh, up here. Excuse me, sorry for that, guys. I physically get sick. Like literally, I literally get physically sick.
I'm
to my
definitely
stomach.
pulling all these notes though out of this. I'm not going to make a whole song out of just the noises that everybody's making.
But-
And then
are
I'll
you
just have
talking
Amanda
about?
going,
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Noises. That was beautiful.
no, when you're in that low falsetto tone where you're really not making distinguishable notes. Like if you're actually trying to sing, might have been beautiful. But when you're making fun of someone singing, not so beautiful.
Rude.
all right, enough about me and Mariah Carey and how she.
Yeah,
makes
that was
me
a short
physically sick.
relationship,
Yeah.
but you know, Nick Cannon, whatever.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that
um,
is interesting though.
And no, and it's real. Like I'm not lying to you whatsoever. Like there's nothing
He learned it on South Park. Brittany.
fictitious. No. No.
If
You
you had
learned
learned
it.
it from The Simpsons, I would believe it
You
because they predicted the future.
Everything. You learned it and you manifested it in your life.
So I only knew about the brown note after she made me physically sick, and that's legit. I'm like, why am I sick? Because I googled it, and then a South Park video came up.
It wasn't just
About
because
brown
she
note.
was with Nick Cannon.
No, I don't know. It's something to do
It's
with
robbing
her.
the cradle.
Oh my gosh. Whatever.
All right. Well, that does it for another episode of Breaking Trad. Sorry for that.
You robbed the cradle with me.
I was gonna say which cradle. Nick Cannon's got like 10 kids.
Yeah, but when we robbed the cradle, you were an accomplice.
I mean,
well,
you
this
look-
took.
I mean, I get told all the time I only look like I'm about 18, 22, maybe.
Well, that's because of your height.
Brittany, there's liars everywhere.
I know.
Hey, little girl, what can I do for you today?
I mean, if I wasn't so hefty, a little thick, they might
Oh.
really think I was young. I'd never get anything.
I've not been carded since I was 16 years old.
That's crazy.
And I've been told multiple times that I look over 40, and I'm only 36 years old.
You're really close to 40.
Well, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I realize I only have
I'm
4
right there
years.
with you.
Oh, well, yeah.
But Matt, he's a little closer.
He's breaching it.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's about
Speaking
to
of
be
the brown
knocking on
note,
the door.
he's breaching 40.
That's like the note that breaks glass.
Yeah, that's legit. That
Mhm.
really is.
It
I've
really
seen people
does
do
happen.
it, like with a wine glass. Up, and it breaks.
I think the wine glass just like wants the person to stop.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like I will cut you.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
it's coming to an
been
end. We got
fun.
about a month. There's actually, when this episode's dropped, we have exactly 4 weeks. It's been a blast. Had such a
Mhm.
good time.
You're acting like it's over already.
I know, but I sense it. I sense it coming. Kind of like,
The end of the show.
yeah. Guys, we're glad you could join us for this week's episode of Breaking Trad. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
You can catch the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
You can contact us at breakingtradpodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook at breakingtradal and on Instagram at breaking_trad. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel.
Remember to subscribe and follow us. That way you'll get notifications every time we drop a new episode.
Join us next week, and remember,
Make every shot count.